There is a moment in every true seeker's life when the light no longer comforts and the dark no longer frightens. It happens quietly, perhaps after a sleepless night or a terrifying vision, when the soul whispers a question that shakes you at your core. What if the darkness isn't the enemy? That is the moment the real journey begins. Not the one of incense and mantras, but the one of bones and silence. The warrior dark chosen one is not selected because they are good. They are chosen because they are willing. Willing to look into the mirror when it's smeared with blood and shadow and still say, yes, I'm not done yet. You are not called to this path for enlightenment in the way the world sells it. You are summoned to face what others run from, to stare directly into the black waters of your own psyche and not flinch, to see that the true enemy is not out there, but the hidden beast within, the one that wears your face and speaks your voice when no one's watching. The warrior's path is not a climb upward, it is a descent. Down into the roots, into the underworld of the soul, where four great spiritual shadows wait. They do not fight you, they reveal you. And only when you face each of them can you wield true power. The first shadow is the Specter of False Self. This is the persona you built to survive, the mask that gets applause, the identity you've convinced even yourself is real. It might be spiritual, it might be successful, it might even be humble, but it's not you. It's a survival mechanism, a construct. And here's the terrifying part, it's beautiful, it's seductive, and it doesn't want to die. The Specter of False Self evolves with you. It becomes more clever the more spiritual you become. It will wear white robes. It will quote sacred texts. It will fool everyone except your soul. This is why the dark chosen ones must go into isolation, not for peace, but for confrontation. Because when the applause fades, when no one is watching, the false self begins to crack. And in the silence, you begin to hear your real self crying beneath the mask. If you listen closely, you will feel the ache of decades of pretending. Ask yourself right now, who would you be if no one needed you to be anything? What personality traits would dissolve if you no longer needed approval? If you don't know, you haven't met your real self yet. And that is your first initiation. The second shadow is the wound of powerlessness. Every dark chosen one, no matter how strong, carries a hidden core of helplessness. It often comes from childhood, from betrayal, from abandonment, from a moment when you realized the world could hurt you and no one would save you. That moment gets buried. We build strength around it. We chase success, control, status, even spiritual authority to cover it up. But it never leaves. It becomes a hidden fracture in the foundation of your soul. And until you face it, every act of power you perform will be tainted by fear. The wound of powerlessness is not healed by domination. It is not healed by pretending it's gone. It is only healed by surrender. You must return to that helpless version of yourself and embrace them fully, not as a victim, but as a sacred fragment of your being. You must become the protector you never had, and you must do it without shame, because that wound, once integrated, becomes your greatest compassion. Without it, your power becomes tyranny. With it, your power becomes medicine. So let me ask you, what part of you still feels like it's not safe to be soft?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
Now we descend deeper. The third shadow is the Demon of Spiritual Arrogance. This one is the most subtle and the most dangerous. It whispers in your ear after your first awakening. It tells you you're chosen. It tells you you've seen what others haven't, and it's not wrong, but it weaponizes truth against humility. It makes you a judge rather than a guide. It turns your vision inward and upward, but never outward in service. And soon, without realizing, you become the very thing you once sought to destroy a blind prophet, preaching liberation while chained to your own ego. Spiritual arrogance doesn't always look like pride. Sometimes it looks like superiority masked as isolation. I just can't be around low vibration people. They wouldn't understand me. I'm protecting my energy. Do you hear it? It's not wisdom, it's fear. It's the inability to sit with the pain of others without judgment. The true warrior can walk into any room and be light without needing to dim others. The dark chosen one does not escape the crowd, they enter it with grace. Because they know ego can hide in silence, in robes, even in service, and they hunt it constantly. Can you sit with someone who believes the opposite of you and still love them? Can you teach without needing to be worshipped? Can you lead without needing to be followed? These are the questions that burn away the demon of arrogance. And if you don't ask them, the shadow will grow. It will feed on your gifts. It will poison your insight, until all that remains is a hollow teacher with no students, no joy, and no soul. Finally, we meet the fourth shadow, the abyss of meaninglessness. This is the shadow no one wants to talk about, the emptiness that arrives after you've done the work, after the awakenings, after the purging, after the visions. When you've burned away your illusions and are left with silence, no angels, no noise, just the void. This is the most sacred and terrifying moment on the path, because everything in you wants to fill that space with purpose, with mission, with service. But something deeper says, wait, don't move, just be here. The abyss is not a punishment, it is initiation into true being. It is the space between identities, between old and new, between illusion and embodiment. Most people run from this place. They go back to projects, relationships, teaching, even healing others. But the warrior stays. The warrior waits. Because in that abyss, something holy is born. Not a new belief, not a new goal, but a new self. One that doesn't need meaning to exist. One that is not driven by fear or desire, but by presence. Ask yourself, what if your life never had a clear purpose again? Would you still walk with integrity? Would you still love? Would you still breathe with reverence? This is the abyss. It strips you of all spiritual ambition, and it gives you something much rarer, authentic peace. The kind that doesn't need to prove itself. The kind that survives even in silence, even in death. Each of these four shadows is not your enemy. They are your teachers, your mirrors, your initiators. They do not come to destroy you, they come to reveal you. And only those who face them without flinching can rise as true warriors. Not warriors of war, but warriors of soul. The world is not changed by those who avoid their shadows. It is changed by those who integrate them, who walk with them, who learn their language and transmute their poison into power. You were not chosen to be perfect. You were chosen to be real, to be whole, to be the one who walks where others won't. And now, in this very moment, you are being asked, will you face the shadows? Will you stop pretending you've evolved past them? Or will you enter the fire again, not to burn, but to rise? If you are still here, then something ancient in you has awakened, not out of curiosity, but out of necessity. You are no longer trying to escape your pain, you are now willing to sit inside it until it speaks. That is the mark of the dark chosen one. You do not choose this path because it is beautiful. You walk it because it is true. And truth, when it is raw, when it no longer wears robes or smiles, becomes the most powerful medicine of all. The four spiritual shadows are not abstract concepts. They are living forces, and once seen, they demand integration. We have walked through the specter of false self, the wound of powerlessness, the demon of spiritual arrogance, and the abyss of meaninglessness. But the journey is not complete until you understand how they work together. You cannot face one and avoid the others. They are not separate trials, they are a single spiral. And the deeper you go, the more they begin to overlap, feeding each other, testing you in layers. When you drop the false self, you feel powerless. When you reclaim your power, arrogance creeps in. When you burn away arrogance, you fall into the abyss. This is the cycle. And the warrior learns not to escape it, but to move through it with awareness. Let us go deeper. The specter of false self is not something you defeat once. It regenerates. Every time you grow, it adapts. It sneaks into your new identity. It can even become your spiritual persona. That's why the warrior must be in constant observation. Ask yourself, even now, who am I performing for? What part of me still wants to be seen as good, wise, or awakened? The false self plays a long game. It doesn't care what costume you wear. It only wants to survive, and it will use your wounds, your gifts, and even your enlightenment to stay alive. To dissolve this specter, you must choose vulnerability over performance, honesty over image. You must be willing to disappoint others in order to be true to yourself. That means saying no when it would be easier to say yes. That means admitting when you don't know. That means crying in front of those who expect you to lead. Because authenticity is the knife that kills the false self, but it's not a quick death. It's a slow unraveling. And every time a layer falls, you become lighter, sharper, more aligned. Then there is the wound of powerlessness. This shadow doesn't just live in your past. It echoes in your present. Every time you feel stuck, indecisive, or paralyzed, the wound is whispering. It says, "You can't. You're not enough. Remember what happened last time." It's not trying to harm you. It's trying to protect you. But it's using an outdated story. The warrior must rewrite that story, not by denying the pain, but by choosing action anyway. You reclaim your power not all at once, but moment by moment, decision by decision. And here's the paradox. True power comes when you no longer need to be powerful. When you can be soft, open, surrendered without fear. That's when you know the wound has healed. Until then, let your small self speak. Let them weep. Let them rage, and hold them like a sacred child. Because they are. And they are not your weakness, they are your origin, your root. And no tree grows without deep roots. Now we must confront the demon of spiritual arrogance again. Because once you've reclaimed your power, it will come knocking. It will say, "You've done more work than them. You see more clearly. You're beyond their struggles. Listen closely." These are the most dangerous thoughts you will ever have. They are poison dressed as wisdom. They cut you off from humility, connection, and growth. The moment you believe you're above someone, you've stopped evolving. Because the real master learns from everyone. The beggar, the enemy, the child, the fool. To stay humble, stay close to your own wounds. Speak less. Listen more. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not flatter you. And most importantly, laugh at yourself. Arrogance cannot survive in the presence of self-aware humor. So let me ask you, what part of you still believes you are beyond being wrong? Because until that part is brought into the light, it will lead you in darkness. Finally, we return to the abyss of meaninglessness. This is the hardest shadow to explain because it cannot be understood with the mind. It must be experienced. It is the death of all roles. the silence after the storm, the space where nothing matters and everything matters at once. Most people mistake this place for depression, but it's not. Depression is resistance to what is. The abyss is full surrender. It's the moment when you realize that meaning is not something to find, it's something to create. And yet in that space there is a temptation to rush, to escape the void, to turn the experience into a teaching, a brand, a movement. Don't. Stay. Let the stillness dissolve your ambitions. Let it cleanse your seeking. Let it teach you how to be without doing. Because from that place, true service is born. Not service rooted in the need to be seen, but service rooted in love. Love that expects nothing. Love that is not tied to outcome. Love that flows simply because it is. So now you've seen them. The four shadows. Not as enemies, but as sacred invitations. Invitations to go deeper, to live more honestly, to serve more purely. And yet the question remains, will you continue to walk forward, knowing that these shadows will return again and again? Can you love yourself even when they rise inside you? Can you hold yourself steady when your light flickers and your path disappears? The dark chosen ones are not those who have defeated their shadows. They are those who have befriended them, who have learned to dance with their demons, who have stopped asking, how do I get rid of this? And instead ask, what is this here to teach me now? That is the real power. That is the real mastery. Not escape, not perfection, but integration. And now, something deep inside you has changed. You may not feel it fully yet, but it has begun. A remembering, a reckoning, a returning. It will not let you go back. Not truly. You may try. You may distract yourself. But the shadows will call you again. And when they do, you will not run. You will turn toward them. And you will say, I see you. Let's walk together. That is the moment the warrior is born, not in the light, not in the battle, but in that quiet choice to stay awake when it would be easier to sleep. And so, the journey continues not toward heaven, but toward wholeness. Not toward escape, but embodiment. Not toward glory, but truth. The shadows are not in your way. They are the way.